What if you could avoid the predicament of 83% of all people? I'm talking about people who are not achieving the wealth they were created to enjoy. What if we could hand you the key that could unlock wealth for you? I'd like to share with you today an introduction to the key to your wealth. Now, this secret lies not in what you do, but actually who you are. And this is not just for business people or entrepreneurs or owners of large companies. It's also for people who have a job, homemakers, whether men or women, and even young adults ready and craving to emerge from adolescence. What you can take away from this is how to get on your path to your wealth and have it flow like a river. How to have the joy you used to have. Remember as a child when you role played and you dreamed big? That was most likely your path of your game. And while there are many nuances to your wealth profile and achievement, which we're going to go over in other videos, right now we want to look at the different wealth profile categories themselves. Now, first of all, what is wealth?
Well, let's start with what wealth is not. It's not money or how big your bank account is. And it's not how many homes you own. And it's certainly not the car you drive, even if it's paid for. So wealth. Well, we define wealth. Wealth is what you have left after you lose all your money. How can that be? That's an interesting question. Did you realize that you were once $900 million richer than Donald Trump? You see, Trump built an empire in the 80s, largely on real estate deals leveraged with a high level of debt. And when the market turned in 1990, he was no longer able to make his payments. That resulted in $3.5 billion in business debt and a further $900 million in personal debt. So you see, you and I were once $900 million richer than Donald Trump. However, in the following decade, he reversed that situation. And by 2005, he had a net worth of $2.7 billion and a leading TV show to boot. So what if Donald Trump were able to take over your financial situation? What if he were able to become you? Have your circumstances, live where you live, have the resources you have, but have Donald Trump's mind and wealth aptitude, or wealth profile. Your wealth situation would very likely be different within 1 year, if not sooner. Now, in contrast, what about the joy of lottery winners? You see, for a lot of people, winning the lottery is the American dream. But for many lottery winners, the reality is more like a nightmare, leaving them without a penny in their pockets. See, there was William Bud Post, who won $16.2 million in the Pennsylvania lottery in 1980, but now lives in his Social Security. Suzanne Mullins won $4.2 million in the Virginia lottery in 1993, and she's deeply in debt to a company that lent her money using the winnings as collateral. And then there's Ken Proxmire, who was a machinist when he won $1 million in the Michigan lottery. He moved to California and went into the car business with his brothers. Within 5 years, he had filed for bankruptcy. What was their wealth mindset or their wealth profile? You see, wealth has very little to do with money. Money is only a temporal measurement at best. If you haven't created wealth, any excess money you have will probably become a terribly temporary condition. Why is it that so many of us continue to work so hard, earn so much, and still have so little to show for it? Perhaps even more frustrating is, why is it that when we look at people who we consider wealthy, no matter how much their money or business gets taken away from them, it comes right back again? Well, that leads us to the wealth paradox. And the wealth paradox says, the more money you have, the more opportunities you have to lose it. But we're not here to talk about how to lose your wealth, but how to identify and capture your wealth. You see, grabbing your wealth is a lot like catching a butterfly? Just how do you go about catching a butterfly? Do you use a net? Do you use a bigger net? Or, well, we're going to talk about that in the next video. Thanks for looking into your wealth.